Okay. Hey, welcome back to Divas, Diamonds, and Dollars podcast. We empower career women, business owners, and yes, late bloomers with the tools and strategies for living a bolder, fuller life. Each week, we give you the key success principles on business, leadership, and personal finance. Follow us to get ahead and succeed at a higher level. Folks, we are your hosts, Larisa Troche and
I am Cecilia Benford.
Alrighty Dottie. And so, wondering, do you
Mm.
participate in any special activities during Small Business Week? It seems pretty quiet, but I guess it depends on where you are or if you're not looking for it, because there don't seem to be as many headlines. Maybe that's just me.
I
Um,
thought this year was a little small. I actually think this year is quieter than
yeah.
previous years.
So I attended a Small Business Week. I guess it was a trade show for lack of any other name a few years, some years, it wasn't a few years, it was a long time ago. But I enjoyed it. And so I would attend another one in a bigger city. Uh, so, I mean, you can consider that's an opportunity to find new vendors, network, and maybe attend some business workshops. And I'm thinking that was a great way to spend the day. Now, you can either go as an attendee, and again, as I said, maybe find some vendors, attend the workshops, make some new connections, or you could also host a booth or sponsor a booth at the trade show to share your very own goods. So, not a bad idea. But what you
Indeed.
should be doing is what?
Mhm. Minding your business every day.
That's the ticket.
That's exactly right. And so, if you have been following us for a while, you do know that I am actually quite the fan of small businesses. I support small businesses. In my previous wonderful career of contracting with the government, man, well, a lot of thoughts. I was just thinking because I had a conversation yesterday, so my mind went there about, well, what do we do? So worked a lot of small businesses and large businesses too. And so the reason I am a fan of small businesses because, ladies and gentlemen, small businesses actually do run the country. And so even when you have a big company, they're made up of all kind of, I mean, different levels of small businesses, right? I mean, ideas basically come from, the vendors at the lower tier. And so with that being said, as a business owner, and especially if you are a solopreneur, you can't wait for a special annual proclamation. You've got to be on your game every day. And so when we say be on your game every day, I started off saying minding your business every day means you got to be working hard on your business. Now, ideally, you have systems in place. Oh, that we've talked about streamlining operations. We've talked about that more than once. It's very important for you to maximize your profit and to reduce your expenses and certainly create delight for your customers. I believe and know that, people really look forward to their, vendor fair, looking for something new, looking for the little goodies. So we're going to talk about that. So if you're minding your business every day, we're going to talk about 10 ways you can take advantage of Small Business Week. So this is a momentum that many hopefully you've staffed up for, you've talked about it, you planned for it. And I want to say, I don't want to forget this. I've worked with Dayton Score. And so Score is still alive and well everywhere. They're all over the country. And so you can maximize your small business by definitely being out there for Small Business Week. You absolutely need to be there. You need to have your targeted promotions going, enhancing your social media engagement. I mean, to me, those are the primary things you need to do, and certainly strengthening community ties so that you drive visibility and sales. Key strategies often include offering exclusive discount. Hey, you know what? Even in this economy, and I think everybody's looking for a discount, right? I mean, let's face it, people need to, kind of figure out what they're going to pay. So this is a great time to offer exclusive discounts, make them special. Okay. Hosting local events. The show must go on. We don't stop. Collaborating with other businesses. I see more collaboration today, so I think that's great. And leveraging educational webinars and rewarding customers. So when I was mentioning SCORE, a lot of collaboration takes place at that level. And since they are in many cities, I just wanted to say that they are out there with Small Business Week. Okay. I live in an area that has a lot of small business vendors, and because we have a lot of acquisition for all kind of commodities that people are looking for. And so, with that being said, everyone's kind of chasing out there, with their goods and services. And so, um, they're offer your specialized promotions. It's a great opportunity. If you kind of miss the opportunity, you may have to wait a while. Now, we're going to talk some more about, this is not just a 1 week venture, but you want to go where the people already are gathered, right? Create time limited discounts. Nothing is forever. And so, um, there are people who are always looking for a good deal. That's why we talk about time limited discounts. As a matter of fact, this occurred to me just today. I was kind of cleaning up some mail and I had to go, oh shoot, I missed a discount, special discount. It ended yesterday. So buy one, get one free. Oh, people love those, right? And then, of course, free samples because that drives, immediate traffic as well as certainly sales. Doing so can attract new clientele and remind current customers how awesome you are. Because I think sometimes, I know I forget certain people until something happens, right? And of course, year round, you want to consider offering some packages for greater impact and higher profits. Second, to me, is launching your social media campaigns. If you're not doing social media, you're certainly missing out, right? If you're not launching your social media campaign consistently, you're certainly missing out, right? So you want to use hashtags like Small Business Week and hashtag shop small to increase visibility. This separates you from the big boys, but that's all right. That's who you are, small businesses. Share your business story and engage with followers. Sometimes, people kind of expect people to come to them, just because. So, I guess the other point I was looking at when I was looking up what the vendor community, what small businesses, what ah, SCORE is doing. You also can do some training during this week because they do a lot of things, financial planning, how to, do business with the federal government, and so they say, did you know, right? Educational webinars covering a variety of business topics, connecting with business experts and meeting fellow entrepreneurs. So this is an opportunity for you to find out, hey, a lot of times it's a networking opportunity, somebody that you can collaborate with. And like you're trying to offer some free things, there's also with some of this focus on small business, it's an opportunity for you to access some free entrepreneur tools.
We said launch your small business, excuse me, social media campaign. Frankly, Small Business Week is not the time to get started. You should already have a social media campaign. And I'll just say, look, we have a couple hundred balls that we're juggling at any given time, but we have your Small Business Week activity, but we have your year-round activity. Choose an automated posting app to keep your social media hopper full. So it can be done. You just have to use the smart tools. But what I wanted to share was in our property management company, for example, you have to fill those units, and we talk about the lack of affordable housing. Well, at the same time, in terms of apartments, locally they built a gajillion apartments, which means we have more competition. And you might not necessarily, and property management is still a business. It's not necessarily a small business, but it is a business that needs clients, aka residents. So we actually used AI, if you will, to create a 12-month marketing campaign with all the collateral, like the flyers and the scripts and the related, and a checklist, to make sure that the team could walk through and not forget any steps. So again, use the tools that are available to you to streamline and otherwise put some ease in your day. And on number three, now this is my favorite, is host or attend a local event. You can organize in-store open houses. You should really remember that. I know that doesn't happen very often, but do that, especially if you're what's it called? Reliant on foot traffic, right? Oh, have an open house, do a workshop, or even sidewalk sales to connect directly with the local community. Client appreciation events are always, well, appreciated. And so creating tons of goodwill, repeat business, and referrals. So don't overlook client appreciation events. Make sure events are part of your marketing plan, not just during Small Business Week. So year-round, host a quarterly networking event or segmented client event tied to a holiday or season. Again, a fan favorite. So maybe look at your capacity and see what you can do in that area. And Cecilia already mentioned number 4, which is collaborate with other local businesses. Partner with the nearby business for cross promotions, joint giveaways, or co-hosting events to reach new audiences. This is a budget-friendly option, so make sure you are supportive of other businesses in your community and building relationships all year round. So year-round, choose business or businesses to spotlight for mutual benefit. So think of BNI, or again, if you have an email list or newsletter, right? So cross referrals, introductions into new market segments and related. So yes, you both get the spotlight, but you also can cross pollinate into each other's client base, especially if you should, when you're talking collaboration, you're thinking complementary businesses, right? What else does your client need? So find those people in the what else category. And numero cinco, what does number 5 look like?
Launching customer appreciation initiatives. Everybody wants to be special, right? Or feel
I'm
special.
Petrol. I'm Petrol.
Yeah. So, you really have to celebrate your customers with special treats. That's the whole make me feel good. Giveaways or a dedicated customer appreciation day. Just to, basically you want to boost loyalty because if you don't do it, somebody else is doing it. Trust me. So, I mean, if you ever have a situation where you're going, oh, do I go here or go there? And I know when I've gone to, like we talk about a trade fair, people walk around from booth to booth. And so they're looking at, well, what does that person offer? Oh, you didn't offer anything? I'll guess where they're going. It happens. So you got to, be smart about it, be creative. And that's part of your marketing. So, this is not just a freebie, go throw somewhere. You should, we hope you planned for it. We hope you even budgeted, but even, maybe you haven't done it in a while. That's another, oh yes, I must do this. So I sort of talked about this when I mentioned SCORE, but the Small Business Administration is there for small businesses. Now, if they're not
Before
doing
you
this,
move on, actually, what I wanted to mention was if you remember, we talk about it periodically, but one of the principles of being multipreneurship, right, is
Mhm.
Alice, a little something extra, right? So again, this is not a one and done. You should always be
Right.
looking at ways to add on to whatever they've made the purchase. What else can you include? And like, oh, a little something extra. So
Yes.
people will remember that and they appreciate that. And we already mentioned it earlier about hosting events, but annually, make sure you come up with a signature, exclusive signature event that becomes, let's just say, the hottest ticket in town. So, create some buzz around what you're offering your people. Put your thinking cap on or talk to a consultant, contractor, what do you call that? Coach, mentor, someone who can help you with your brainstorming. What matches my service or product that we can, again, you have to create delight for your client because if you continue to delight them, they will stick around. So, yes, the small business SBA,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
Yeah, so they have in person as well as virtual events. And so I remember the last one I went to, like I said, a big venue and the tables are set up. But the one thing that I remember noticing was the room that had the most people in it. That was the small business administration talking to small businesses. So you don't want to be left out. You don't want to be not in the know. Okay. And the other thing, is Larissa and I sort of talked about, well, it seems a little bit lighter this year. But one thing, there are other things going on. So you have to be aware of that. And maybe you, for example, this is recognized public servants. And so guess what? I mean, I've received a couple emails about that, but the one of them is the insurance people. So they're trying to put themselves out there, right? Well, that's why I'm saying be creative about what you can tie yourself to, because that's what businesses do. How can I take opportunity of whatever else is going on during this time? So we're talking about this week, but we're also, as Louisa has said, in a couple instances annually, what are those other opportunities? And so, um, you want to get smarter, gain some insights, you want to network, and always take advantage of educational opportunities. And for the SBA, they're really out there all year round. And so it's all about you strengthening your business acumen.
It's interesting when I hear SBA, I think about small business loan. As a matter of fact, there
Hmm.
again, it's probably, based on what you read is what you get in your feed. But, I've been seeing some ads recently about, various programs. But even if you don't, or if you're not otherwise looking for funding, it's the educational component that you want to take advantage of. And secondarily, it just occurred to me just now, so I don't have her last name, but we actually did an interview with Botha. Do you remember her last name, Botha?
I don't.
But what she talked about is attending these events. It's not just what you receive, but it's also a good place for her in this case and could work for you to pick up new clients, right? Because
Yeah,
especially
right.
if you're a consultant, right, or marketer,
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
exactly what these people are looking for. So that's another reason to attend the events by SCORE and or the SBA. So it's not just for the money, honey. So seven, share your business story and your journey. Highlight the story behind your business on social media or in a blog to create, personal connection with customers. Because most people, again, that know, like, trust factor, right? And they want to be able to say, she is just like me, right? She's done it, so I can do it. And so let's see, let's connect around that. So again, small business week, but year round, let your customers be in the know. Regularly
Right.
share some behind the scenes video. Did you want to make a
I just wanted to say as a customer.
mm,
So for those who are listening, I've been looking for small businesses lately, quite a
mm,
bit. So that means I've been online.
mm,
I've tried to make some connections through the Better Business Bureau and what have you. And it's very telling. People's websites, are they up to date? And some people, they have ratings, but they're not really connected, right? But the one thing what you just said, Louisa, is what struck me. I love reading the who are we stories,
oh,
the about,
mm,
because that's sort of telling.
mm-hmm,
You can, and now that's not to say it tells everything, because it doesn't. But to me, it's a beginning of something. it sort of lets me know, do I want to go further? I know a lot of times we're always talking about ratings, but this, just think about all these things are about managing your business. So what does your profile look like? And for me as a customer, I'm saying I want to know who you are, what you're about. And that,
And do we
can go
match
really
on
far.
culture and values, right? So
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sure that
right.
your about section is current and up to date, and it really leans into who you really are, because that does
Mm.
matter to people.
Yes, it does. Your story.
And the other part that's important, okay, it's all important. Number 8, spotlight and reward your employees. They're the ones doing the heavy lifting. Recognize your team's contributions with rewards or spotlights on social media to boost morale. Everyone likes to get an attaboy, attagirl, right?
Mhm.
And then when you let other people know how wonderful they are, they get a little bit, of an extra boost. So year round, create a culture that engages and develops your staff. Proactively and publicly recognize their good work. That is employee retention 101. Okay. Okay. Support a local charity or cause. And again, principle of multipreneurship, philanthropy. Donate a percentage of sales to a local charity or volunteer as a team to demonstrate community investment. Get your name out there, get your face out there. Helping the community is a positive. And I would just suggest, as I just said, is one of our principles, annually support your chosen charity with a targeted fundraiser, for example. Adopt a cause you care about and include it on your website. Let people know that you are supporting this charity. People,
Mhm.
so see, I told you, people are reading that information.
Mhm.
And then lastly, update your online presence and reviews. Encourage satisfied customers to leave reviews and make sure that you update your Google/social listings to increase visibility. That's the part that makes us squirm as business owners, but if you don't ask, you will not
Mm.
receive. So year round, offer downloadable resources to build your mailing list. I like to call them freemiums. Have AI update your pages on your website with SEO friendly keywords so you can get found, people. And always proactively ask for referrals and testimonials. You obviously want to catch them in the moment when they're basking in the glow, but you want to have a system set up so that it happens
Mhm.
automatically upon delivery of your product or service. Because again, people have good intentions and yeah, I'll do it. But if you don't make it easy for them to do it right there in the moment, it's probably not going to happen, right? So create a system around asking for referrals and testimonials to grow your business. Okay, gentle persons, Small Business Week, it's going to be here and gone in a week, right? So we gave you the current and the year round. You've got a whole campaign. So go make sure you go back through these points we just made you. So smart business owners know it's important to market and promote your business. You know that. We're preaching to the choir. Ideally, you will choose a variety of modes to help business customers find you. There are a lot of options from free to low cost and beyond, so you can explore many options. So I'm suggesting that you use the top 10 as a starter list and build from there. Oh my gosh. And so, gentle persons, listen, thank you so much for listening and joining us today on our podcast. We appreciate you sharing part of your day with us. If you got some value from this episode, please be a good neighbor and share this episode today. And that will do it for us. And as you know, you can stay in touch between episodes. We are now accepting members in my new, not new, but free online community. Make it, mind it, multiply. Hope to see you on the other side, gentle persons. Cheers.